This screencast looks at getting familiar with the new Mail Google Apps program. It is a web-based client, and if you notice on the left-hand side, you have some familiar places where you can compose mail, check your inbox, and there's a couple other ones that will be familiar, some that are a little bit different. In the middle, you have your mail, and you don't get a preview window, but it'll give you the subject line and then a little bit of a preview right here for you to look at. And you can click on that, and it opens up and shows you this. If the pictures don't show, you can usually have a link up at the top that says you can show the pictures. So when you receive an email, over here, this is one of the things people ask about is how do I forward this along? Well, reply is the default in this drop-down list, and if you click the down arrow, you have a bunch of choices. You can reply to all, forward, filter, print, add this to your contact list, delete, things like that. So again, if you're looking for some of those familiar ones of reply and forward, they're just down here in that list. One thing I will point out is if you need to print emails, which I prefer people not just to save paper, but if you have this desire to print your email, print is here, and this will actually print the email. It'll open up in a pop-up window and shows you quite nicely what your email looks like. If you use print in the browser, you won't get the full email. You'll just get to see whatever your browser is looking at. So print is right there, reply to all, forward. Another thing you'll notice is that if we've migrated your mail across, your labels, actually I think your labels might show up on the left-hand side. I've set mine to show on the right-hand side. What you can do with your labels is you can change colors. These are essentially your folders. And it's just a different term that Google Apps uses as labels instead of folders. But you can go ahead and edit them. So a lot of your labels when they first come in will say migrated. You can click on this edit labels and it pops up a window where you can go in and rename your labels to whatever you need to do. One other thing you'll find with this is it organizes your mail a little bit differently. That they use conversations. They're sort of a threaded like a forum, that anything that's related to this email that you've sent, so if you hit reply to something and it gets sent to somebody else, it shows up with all of the emails attached to it at the same time. So I can quickly look at all the different emails that have to do with this conversation, rather than searching through your inbox or sent mail as to what it is. This is everything that I've sent or people have sent by hitting reply, which is very nice. A little bit different to get used to, but it is quite a nice way to look at your mail. You'll notice also here that I do have a spam filter, and so we continue to get spam. We're always going to get spam, but for the most part it gets correctly filtered into your spam filter. It is worthwhile, however, to go in and double check the spam just to make sure that it is not spam. And this one here I've sent specifically that I know gets put into the spam folder. If you click on it, there's a button up at the top that says not spam. Similarly, in your inbox, if you click on something, there's one that says this is spam or report spam. You can click on that and it gets correctly routed to your spam. So I'm going to tell this one not spam, and it tells me it's been moved to the inbox. So I'll go back to the inbox, and there's my episode. Okay, so there's my email. If it was spam, there's a button up at the top that says report spam. Similarly, I've got an option to delete this. I can move it to a label. I can add a specific label to it and leave it in the inbox, and similar actions as you had in previous webmails. So that's a really quick look at some of the familiar features of mail and where you can find them in the new Google Apps Mail.